All right, we were struggling with some issues with Blue SCSI, but it turns out I think it may have been my poor troubleshooting system. So what we have here is we have a 575 board, and this 575 board is pretty much tricked out. There's 128 megabytes of RAM in here. This does work in the color classic, but you have to tip the RAM over so it fits in because the screw hole for the mount gets in the way and then it's tricky to get back out again. We also have Mr. Fahrenheit's extremely fast 60 nanosecond video RAM here. There's two of them, so we have 1 megabyte. And we also have K-Koba's spicy o'clock. So this is a overclocking device, and by adjusting the little pot screw here, you can crank this thing up to anywhere from 35 to 45 megahertz depending on your situation. So this board has been recapped with OSCON capacitors based on James Wage's or JDW's recommendations. If you're going to overclock this with the spicy clock, it's best to have the OSCON capacitors installed, which this board has done. So the other thing we were going to do is we recently acquired a PowerPC card for this thing. So we've been busy on the buy.jp webpage lately, and this is the highly sought after 601 card. And the beautiful thing about this, folks, is it has the pins for the 68040, and it also has the 601 in here, and this one's clocked at 66 megahertz, but we also have the pass-through for another 6804 on top. So when you boot your Mystic or 575 or whatever it is you're working on, you can tell the computer, hey, I want to boot to the 601 mode, or I want to boot to 6804 mode. This allows us to have the pass-through pins so that you can just go into 040 mode. But wait, there's more. Not only have we done that, we also have the Apple IIe card. And you might be thinking, whoa, Craig, you're crazy. There's no way that's going to fit in here, and don't even try, forget it, not going to happen. Well, I'm pleased to announce I have tested it, and it does work. However, the only reason it does work is because we have carefully crafted a PDS little extension cable here. So we had to cut a longer connector so that it actually fits. But we added this on here because in order to get the Apple IIe card, it has to clear the PowerPC card. The PowerPC card takes up too much real estate. And so what we did was we added this riser to get the Apple IIe card over top of the PowerPC card. So Keith at Computer Compulsive, we were doing some troubleshooting and found out that my Blue SCSI card was just corrupt. It wasn't anything that I had done wrong. I think I had used a SCSI to SD card and just threw it in the Blue SCSI and it worked, but it got corrupted and stopped working. So anyhow, we are going to now put the PowerPC card back in. We're going to put the Apple IIe card back in, and we're going to boot this perform a 550 with everything and see if it shows up. So I've got all the software I want on the Blue SCSI. Hopefully we can test the Apple II card, and we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So I'm just going to reinstall everything. Keith, have a look at this card for a second, and I think it might need a cleaning, maybe new caps. Apparently you're supposed to recap the Apple IIe cards.
Oh yeah, you definitely got leakage around this capacitor here and this one.
So how hard is that for you to do?
I did it with my own, so it's pretty easy.
Okay, I have another Apple IIe card. We should probably clean it as well.
Yeah.
So if you have any old computer components, check for corrosion, check for capacitor leakage. I don't do the capacitor replacing, but Keith has gotten very good at it, and so he's recently recapped our Logic. The Power Mac 8100 110 board has been recapped, thanks to Keith for that. And it's now better than brand new, so that's exciting. So we're going to gently put this PowerPC card back into the 575 Mystic board. And we're also going to just gently put this in here. I was just telling Keith, this is the 66 megahertz version. It would be cool if we got DOS Dude to replace the 60166 with the 601 100. Although I imagine that might... Mind you, there is a version of that card, so the heat is going to be a thing anyways. So we're going to just gently push this back in, make sure we've got the pin on the right side there, and we do. make sure these pins are lined up before we push this in. What were you going to say?
I was going to say it's funny to think you could change your whole architecture of your machine from 68,000 to PowerPC with just a card.
That's pretty wild, eh? So we've got super fast video RAM from Mr. Fahrenheit. We've got 128 megabytes of RAM here. We've got the Spicy O'Clock accelerator. We've got the OSCONs, which help facilitate the heavy-duty overclocking. And then we also have, this is a full 68040 that the gentleman sold us on buy with this card. He said, I've got a full, so it's got the math processor built into it, which is cool. And then we're going to put the Apple IIe card on top of this, and I'll show you the clearance so you can see how it actually works. So the only thing we have not done here, and we talked about this off camera, was in order to keep the battery on here, we'd have to install some right angle pins. So we might look at doing that later. It's not a huge priority right now. But yeah, Spicy O'Clock, before the Blue SCSI card maybe got corrupted, I had it clocked at 45 megahertz, which is really cool. So it's basically faster than a Quadra 840 AV, which is wicked. So you can see here, there is our 575 Mystic board. Pass me the Apple IIe card here.
There you
go. Although Keith will clean this and fix it because there's some leakage, and I can see that here too, which is why I wanted you to see it. The Apple IIe card enables any LC series to run Apple IIe software. We should probably invert this camera at some point so it's not backwards. I don't know if you can do that on the fly, but anyways.
I can actually.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, let's see this. So this is the Droid Cam, and let's transform and flip horizontal.
There we go. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, so now the Apple IIe, we can read everything now, so instead of it being backwards. So you can actually see, if we zoom in here, you can see some corrosion right in there, and then so that cap there, C2, is leaking. So there's a couple of caps in this board that need to be redone, and oh, interesting, it has the DRAM built into it there. That's cool. So these cards are great. If you can get an Apple IIe card, make sure you clean it and recap it, because chances are it's got crummy corrosion on it like this. It'd be interesting to change the crystal on here too to see if that speeds it up, but hell, we don't need the Apple IIe to go that fast. So this card now, we're going to put it on top of this, and I know you're thinking I'm crazy. I've already tested this and I know it works, but we're going to prove it right here, right now to everybody. So we're going to gently put this on here. Now, there's not a ton of clearance, obviously, but if we gently push this on, even if it's at a bit of an angle, I know that it still works. And so we're going to just kind of do a close-up here. This is like a Big Mac sandwich. So you can see the heat sink. It might be interesting if we put like maybe a small rubber pad or a thermal pad in there. We're going to just gently put that on. If we push down this too much, it's actually trying to touch the heat sink. Might not be a great idea. So I don't know if there's a way around that. I don't think that there is. But I do know that the pins work even though it's not plugged in all the way. So you can see that it's not totally plugged in there. But nonetheless, I know that it works. And the nice thing about this is with the tall RAM, when you install the tall RAM into the 550, it goes straight in. So our troubleshooting is going to be a lot simpler here. So you can see here, we've got our 575 board, we've got our 601 PPC board, and we've got the Apple IIe board on top. It's all residing together. And yeah, you might think, Craig, you're completely crazy. The only problem with this too is if on your back panel, you're going to have to change where the hole is for the Apple IIe, a breakout cable or PCB, which connects to your joystick or your floppy disk drive. So that's the only real caveat here. And then I guess the other thing is we were talking about maybe getting a second fan inside of the Mystic to blow some more air over top of this. We could maybe borrow 12 volts and run another fan. I've got another SE30 fan that I ripped out to do my RGB fan. Mm-hmm. Maybe we could put that in there and just keep it cool internally. So we're going to put this in this Performa 550 right now, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to use the external Blue SCSI temporarily, and then we'll go back to using my internal to see what happens. So let's go ahead and slide this in. And if everything works, we'll be able to play Karateka very shortly, which is amazing. We'll see how lucky we feel here.
Blue SCSI.
Oh yes, that would be a good thing too. I'm so excited. And because we have the 128 megs of RAM installed, oh yeah, thank you. Nice to have someone doing production for you. So, because we have 128 megs of RAM, we have to wait for the computer to count all 128. So we just have to sit here and. Now, when we install the PowerPC extensions, you'll actually be able to switch to 601 mode, and we will hear the cool octave jumping PowerPC boot sound, which I look forward to hearing. So we're just going to sit here and wait while it counts the 128 megabytes of RAM. There's no way to bypass it. And if what Keith did works, we should be able to boot this thing, hopefully into Apple IIe mode. Jeopardy music or something.
Yeah. That always takes longer when you're waiting for it too.
Alright, the screen is finally fired up, which means the RAM counting is completed. Let's see a happy Mac of some kind. That would be magical.
Nope. It still doesn't like your card.
Or it doesn't like the SD card that I put in. Let's put yours back in.
Let's put mine back in.
Oh, the fun that we're having, I'm telling you. Ready to rip my hair out.
The advantage of shaving, you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, that's my card.
Okay.
And so yours is a SanDisk and I'm using Transcend. Is this part of the problem, maybe?
Well, the Transcends usually are decent cards. They're usually faster.
Okay.
So it could be how it's been formatted as well. I know that Blue SCSI is a little bit particular about how things are formatted.
Because there's that SD card formatter software, right?
Yep.
All right, we're going to wait again. Sometimes I think I just want too much, and there's just too many variables for me to get it. We heard a chime. That's good. It's counting the RAM. That's good. Comes on. That's good. The mouse pointer shows up. That's good. It should work. I'm thinking the config file for it might be just corrupted, or it's not happy.
We'll have to take a look at that separately because there's definitely something it doesn't like about this card.
I think I might just start from scratch and just do it all over again.
Yeah. Well, you have the image here. We can certainly create it and then...
Oh, yeah, okay. I think the 7.5.5 image had the Apple II stuff built into it.
Oh, did it?
So when you booted to it, those partitions would show up as well, I think.
Well, let's see what we have on this card.
Ah.
That's better.
Is this your card?
This is my card.
Yeah. So, again, it's a card issue. There's nothing wrong with the Blue SCSI. It's the card that's in the Blue SCSI that's caused. So the Mac just rebooted because it's going into 8.1, which requires 32-bit addressing. So that's...
Oh, wrong one.
That's backwards.
It's trying to fix the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got both. Let's do this. And then transform, flip. So there we go.
Oh, that's better.
That's much better.
Okay, so things are working. It sees all the RAM. So the PowerPC card's installed, the Apple IIe card's installed, and the machine's still working fine. Can you make a new card with just my stuff on it? And see what happens. I don't quite want to erase this other one yet. We're just going to create a new image card here and see if we can do some tomfoolery. It makes me feel better that everything's working, even though it's not doing exactly what I want.
Well, at least nothing has fried. That's how I.
Yeah, like hardware-wise, I'm happy.
Yeah.
The disk you attached was not readable by the... Okay, he was asking you to initialize that.
Oh, interesting. Now, this is one I had used earlier, and it's... turns like it may have been corrupted. So...
We're having so much fun with memory cards today.
let's try a different one.
Or lack of memory cards in this case.
Let's try this guy.
For those of you who tuned in earlier, we did have some good news. We shipped an SE30 all the way from Japan over here. And as I suspected, it had the Micron grayscale system complete inside, which is absolutely mental. So Keith is just doing some disk utility tomfoolery, and we're going to prep another SD card for me, so that when I can go back home and actually play Apple II games on my Mystic that's heavily accelerated. Although you're going to recap that card, I suppose. We should probably do that.
Yeah, I'll have to take that.
I'll get the other one for you too, because in my head I was like, I need to get Keith to do this, because you can't expect these things to keep working over time when there's all that corrosion happening.
Yeah, for sure. They will eventually corrode through the traces. All right.
So just pull that 7.5 over, 755, I think.
755. Okay, let's grab that.
So I created a Blue SCSI image with 7.5.5 as well as a couple of ProDOS partitions with Total Replay. So for those of you unfamiliar, Total Replay is a compilation of games for the Apple II compiled by a guy named 4AM. And they also redid a new one called Instant Replay, which is all the sports games put together. So like Electronic Arts 1-on-1, winter games, summer games, all those other things like that. So see if this new memory card thing wants to do what I would really like to see some Apple II games on here before we wrap up today. That's all I want. Oh,
you sure you had them installed on this image?
I think so, but nonetheless, I want to know that something is going to boot my machine.
Yeah, true.
Without me scratching my head going, how come this doesn't work? And I think I did, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I gave you the right card. Maybe I have another card at home that does work, but maybe I'm just jumping the gun. But I wanted a second set of eyes on it. So it's like, hey, Craig, all your hardware's working. Just get your SD card strapped together.
Also, it was nice to have that second set of eyes to look at stuff.
Well, especially when you're as impatient as I am. But I wanted to prove to everybody how... I want to do a meticulous video of the 575 board with the PowerPC board with the Apple IIe card all working together. So that was the point. Was I don't believe that anyone's done that before.
Okay. Well, we got a new image.
We got a new card. Okay, we're gonna shut this down. We're gonna try booting it again, and then I want to try booting it with my Blue SCSI before I. Let's try this one more time. Because I love doing things over and over and over again. This is your magic card that boots the machine, and
here's another one.
Oh, look at this nice, funky blue color here. It's blue. That's why it works, because it's a Blue SCSI and it's a blue card.
There we go.
It's so dumb.
Take a look at this.
All right, blue card is in the Blue SCSI. If I'm at my calculations are correct, we should be able to boot this and run it in Apple IIe mode now. You know what would be fun would be to get a... I think JDW had a video of an infrared camera on the processor while it was running, so you could see how hot it was running. Even with the heatsink, it might still be like, forget you, I'm shutting down sort of thing. And then having the Apple IIe card on top probably isn't helping.
Probably not, nope.
I like pushing things to the limit. Oh, turn the switch on first, yes.
Yes.
Okay, switch on, new memory card, and external Blue SCSI. Yay! I always get nervous when that's that little spot where it doesn't chime. You're like, are you going to chime or what? So anyway, the goal here is to prove that the 575 Mystic board with OSCON capacitors, with Spicy Clock, with the PPC 601 card clocked at 66 megahertz, And Action Retro did do a video of that card and showed that it was accelerated with the spicy clock, which was super cool. My goal here was to show that the Apple IIe card works on top of the 601 card using a little PDS riser. And so that's what we're trying to do here today. So we're just waiting for this Performa 550 to finish counting its RAM, which it just finished. And then we're going to see if we can boot up. Oh, that's a good sign. So it's booting into... So the reboot, when it chimes like that, it's going into System 8 because 32-bit addressing is on. I don't know. I think there might be a way to force it not to do that by holding down a certain key.
Oh, really?
I can't remember exactly, but...
I don't recall that at all.
So this is your external Blue SCSI that we're booting up to. And this is a good thing. So... Is this 5.5 or is this 8? Or is this 7.6? I don't remember.
Let's see.
I'm curious if my Apple II stuff is going to show up on that, the partitions you put in.
So we're supposed to have 2 partitions.
Yeah, there's Total Replay.
Excellent.
Okay, so which OS are we in here? We're in 7.6. Okay, great. So what you just took my image over. In order to run the Apple IIe card, we have to dumb down to 7.5. So we're going to switch back to 7.5, and then I think this should work. So this is good news. You'll notice 7.6 turns on virtual memory by default. We have 128 megabytes of RAM. We certainly don't need virtual memory on. That's ridiculous. So I'm going to let's go to the system switcher. Sorry about all the flickering, everybody. We're going to reboot into 7.5 is what we want to do. And then if we're fortunate, we'll be able to run this thing in Apple II mode, which will make me very happy. Oh, we don't have to count the RAM because it's a warm reboot.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. So we should see an Apple IIe in the parade of extensions down here. That's good. Blue background is very good. Once again, we're pushing a Mystic 575 board to the max with OSCON overclocking, a 601 PPC board, which I haven't installed the extensions for yet, and an Apple IIe card all at the same time. So we have Keith's Performa 550 with a 575 board, and now we're going to take a look at Total Replay, and we're going to make sure our memory is set right here. Memory 32-bit address. We have to turn 32-bit addressing has to be off for the Apple IIe card to work. So we're going to turn that off right now. We're going to reboot one more time, and then we'll be able to play some Apple IIe games. One more time, Keith. That's it. I'm not. I'm gonna go celebrate by buying a fuzzy peach slush from Circle K once we've played some Karateka on Total Replay here. So. Booting back into 7.5.5, we have turned 32-bit addressing off because the Apple IIe card must work in 24-bit mode only. That's why. So I'm feeling very good about this now. I can sleep tonight. I thought I had burned out our recently acquired PowerPC card, and I was like, please don't do that. I wonder if I have the clock software on so we can see how fast the spicy is running. I don't know if I do. System picker, Mac check. No, that's okay. Is there anything there? Yeah, I haven't really installed all the stuff I want in here for troubleshooting. Maybe one day you and I can build an image together that's got like SCSI troubleshooting and gauges and.
Yeah.
All right, Total Replay. We're gonna double click this to fire this up. You double click on the launcher system. Right here. Here we go, folks. Ready? Sometimes it says your Apple IIe card is defective. They lie. You have to do it like 2 or 3 times. So there we go. Oh, jeepers. So I've just got to rearrange the configuration here because in order for instant replay to work, we have to tell it. Oh, there's no escape key on here. Oh, how come there's no escape key on this keyboard?
You need the full length one?
Yeah, I want a normal keyboard. I guess I'm not supposed to play games anymore. I guess I'm just gonna sell all my stuff and forget it. Wow. It's like, how many more hoops do I have to jump through to prove that this works? At the Computer Compulsive Lab, we are just flying by the seat of our pants here.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna hook up a normal keyboard with an escape key on it, rather than one that doesn't. Ugh. Welcome to the Gong Show. Well, that was interesting.
You revved it up?
No, the fan revved up when I unplugged this. There we go. And escape key is very... Oh yeah, it wants to restart now. I promise, folks, we'll see some games in about 30 seconds. I honestly believe it's going to work this time. I really do. There should be a guy in the back with a gong who's like, whash. Some guy grabs a hook, it's like, you're done. Yes, we know the clock is wrong. We don't care. We know it's not 8:41 p.m. Oh, plug the mouse into the right key.
You're too excited.
Wow. You know what's going to happen now is I'm going to burn out the ADB bus by plugging this in without turning the machine off.
Yep, that sounds about right, yeah.
Okay. Hooray, the mouse works! Yay! So excited! Now we have to uncurl the knots from the mouse. Total replay, everybody. The partition on my Blue SCSI with the games is intact. We're going to run... Yeah, it's defective. Of course it is. Yeah, third time's a charm. Nope, fourth time's a charm.
It didn't turn back on the 32-bat?
No.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it did. There we go. Yeah, see, I did that like 6 times. It's weird. It's like, maybe when you recap it, it won't do that anymore.
Hopefully.
That'd be interesting, actually.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to change we got to change the configuration, and in order to do that, I have to use the escape key to get into here. So we got to go to Smart Port, and we want to put Total Replay up into Drive 2, and ProDOS is an Apple Drive 1. So in order for Total Replay to work, you have to have a ProDOS booting thing. So restart 2E. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna do this properly. All right. Are you ready, Keith? This is the last time. Total Replay. Launcher system. It's defective. One more time. Yay!
There it goes.
Total Replay, ladies and gentlemen. The Apple IIe card works. Hooray! All right, so now it's time to play the card keeper. I'm very excited about this. This is
I can
awesome.
tell. Yeah.
Broderbund software. This is what we've been waiting to see for the past, at home when my Mystic wasn't booting, I was livid.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, what is wrong? What am I doing wrong? All right. This game is so awesome. This is like one of the greatest Apple II games ever. Now, when you're using this, you have to have in caps lock mode, because on the original Apple II, you gotta hit the K key to go into keyboard mode. This game is so great. I love it. Have you played this before, Keith?
No, actually I haven't.
Oh, really? This is like one of the... This is basically the genesis of all fighter games, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct. It all sort of came from this. One guy fighting another one. You can kick high, kick mid, or kick low. So you've literally got like 6 different modes. And you see the way the game's programmed, You see the clock cycles of the animation. It's pretty cool. When you hit the space bar, you stand up and you can start running. But if you run into an opponent while you're not in fight mode, you're dead instantly. So we are successfully running the Apple IIe card on a Mystic board that has a PowerPC 601 card installed. I don't think this has ever been done before, so I'm very happy that this is working. So I'll play a few more men here, and then we're going to shut this off. So in order to stop running, you just hit the space bar, and that puts you back into... Once you see the triangles down here, the other guy is going to show up. There we go. And that is an 8-bit digitized actual black belt yelling, "Yeah!" Which is cool. And what's neat is that sound happens when you defeat your enemy. For the last hit you hit him with, he'll make that noise. That noise will happen again. So cool. Alright folks, so there you have it. We're going to wrap up. The Apple IIe card does work on a 575 Mystic board, even if you have a PowerPC 601 chip installed, if you use a little riser that makes the IIe card clear the PowerPC. And I just died, so it's time to wrap up. Thanks for tuning in to Computer Compulsive. Say hi to Keith, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.